Dear colleagues, good morning. The Ukrainian Crisis Media Center starts its operation today, and we are giving the floor to Lieutenant Colonel Oleksiy Chornobay from the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. Good morning, dear friends. I'm glad to see you here. The Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine adopted the amendments to the order on the experiment with food supply of the armed forces of Ukraine. This document continues the period of experiment with the food supply to armed forces units. The experiment started in September this year. The experiment stipulates establishing the system of food supply of the armed forces of Ukraine, covering a wide range of food products. Given the new system of food supply, the commanders will receive the opportunity to fast adopt the decision on the range of products to be supplied to the military unit, depending on the situation. Also, in September this year, the military units where the experiment has been conducted also deployed the new software, electronic food supply register. They also started testing the sections electronic inventory control and electronic planning and electronic manpower register. During the experiment, the procedure of planning and control shall be with the use of the software, simplifying the calculation. The software product automatically calculates calorific value and forms generates the inventory control documents and calculates the cost of food products. In January next year, the ministry shall submit to the Cabinet of Ministers a report on the status of the experiment with the introduction of the new system of food supplies. After that, if the government take the relevant decisions, the experiment will be extended to cover 10 more military units of the armed forces of Ukraine. Nowadays, the servicemen, 106 servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine and 3 servicemen from other military units are now undergoing treatment in the medical institutions of the Ministry of Defense. 124 servicemen of the armed forces have undergone the rehabilitation in the resorts. A total of 1,834 members of ATO operations since the start of the year have undergone the rehabilitation treatment. 30 injured Ukrainian military servicemen are now undergoing treatment in other countries, 13 in Germany, 7 in the USA, 5 in Hungary, 3 in Lithuania, 1 in Austria, and 1 another person in Poland. 21,000 Ukrainian servicemen received almost 94 million hryvnias for direct participations in the hostilities in the east of the countries. The families of the died military servicemen of the armed forces who took part in ATO operations were paid 1,123 million hryvnias of compensations. Dear friends, good morning, and now we will inform you on the dynamics of hostilities in the ATO zone in the last 3 days. The situations in the ATO area during recent days was complex, but the situation stabilized yesterday. The results of the last negotiations of trilateral contact group on ceasefire in the ATO zone followed with the militants' provocations. They do not comply with the taken decisions and continue armed provocations. We should remind here the situations which took place near Mariupol in Kominternovo village several days ago on December 22nd, when the negotiations were on the way in Minsk in the format of a trilateral contact group. The Russian-backed illegal military formations captured the Ukrainian village of Kominternovo, which is located in the so-called gray area. They also brought military equipment with them. This violation was one another attempt again to violate the Minsk agreements and also to deliver psychological pressure on Mariupol citizens as well as citizens of other villages along the contact line. However, the Ukrainian troops comply with the Minsk agreements strictly. At the same time, from the first minutes of the incident, the Joint Center of Control and Coordination of Ceasefire and Stabilization of the Contact Line and the SMM of OSCE were reported this incident. First, the militants took their troops from Kominternovo as well as their heavy weaponry. I would like to remind that Kominternovo in military terms does not have any strategic or operative importance. Quite vice versa, the militants during these provocations planned to destroy this village. As concerns the shellings, during yesterday, December 24th, the militants 35 times opened fire upon ATO positions. They twice initiated military clashes with Ukrainian soldiers. About 7 o'clock p.m., the illegal military formation of 30 persons under cover of 82mm mortars tried to violate our defense near Mayorsk. The enemy was identified very promptly, and during a 2-hour clash, during a combat, the militants incur losses. During that night, the fire of militants was conducted near Donetsk and Gorlivka. The occupiers did not stop to deliver precision and non-precision fire from small arms, grenade launchers, and large caliber heavy machine guns towards Ukrainian soldiers' positions in Lugansk, Troitske, Mayorsk, Zaytsevo, Novgorodske, Mariinka, and Opitne. From time to time, hostile snipers also opened fire. The units of ATO forces near Novgorodsk were were shelled from armored infantry machinery and anti-aircraft guns. They used the loud arms in response. Near Mariinka, the militants fired on our positions of 82 millimeter mortars. On December the 2nd, the illegal military formations did not use the heavy weaponry. The highest caliber which they used that day was 82 millimeters. They fired from mortars on Kominternova, which had not been occupied by them that day. They also shelled the Troitsk and Lugansk regions 3 times from multiple large rocket systems Grad. On 24th of December, yesterday, no use of heavy weaponry was registered. During the recent 3 days, the militants 140 times violated ceasefire, and there were 3 military clashes. In details, there were 43 fire incidents on Tuesday, 41 violations of ceasefire on Wednesday, and 35 violations of ceasefire yesterday. From the start of this day, more than 5 cases of ceasefire violations have been registered. During the previous 3 days, there is no information about UAV flights. The ATO forces have been conducting efficient work on identifying and counteracting sabotage and reconnaissance teams within the territory under their control. According to the operative information from the headquarters of Intelligence Department of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, jointly with the officers of Special Operations Headquarters of ATO, in the near Veliki Novosilki, they found the cache with weaponry of the hostile sabotage and reconnaissance group, including anti-tank grenade launchers, about 15 units, and 12,000 cartridges of various calibers for small arms. Lots of arms and ammunitions are manufactured on Russian enterprises after 1995. This is all information so far. Thank you, Mr. Leonid Matyukhin. We will see you next time on Tuesday, and our next press